talk, jabber talk. Jabber, 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 jabber talk. Jabber talk, jabber talk. Jabber, 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 jabber talk. Miss Jabber, Miss Jabber, Jabber talk.
Welcome back to Jabber Talk Pod, and I'm Jacqueline Malcolm, and of course there is always a Pixie in the pod.
Where?
Sitting opposite me. Isn't that funny? I was about to say sitting opposite me.
Yeah.
At the same time you said where. It's like the knowledge that we knew instinctively that people needed to know where the Pixie was exactly in the pod.
We did need to know. The Pixie is in the pod.
Anyway.
Sitting opposite.
Oh,
Bing, bing, bing.
Okay. Well, for those listening in, I hope you'll get used to us. That's all I can say. You will get used to the vibe of what we do. So we really had to talk about the coronavirus, of course, COVID-19.
Where? No, really.
Yeah, somehow we still make jokes.
Well, we have to make jokes, otherwise, what? You'll go crazy.
You'll go crazy
Yeah.
unless you keep smiling.
Yeah.
I think the few Zoom or WhatsApp conversations I've had with people is the fact that, oh, Jack, thank God you're still smiling. Because there's a lot of people who are losing their smiles, and if they still have them, we can't see them because now they're behind surgical masks.
Right, yes. Everything's going sort of like just really weird. It's and yet we had to pop out to go and get necessary groceries.
Only necessary
groceries. We got
wine
wine.
and Pringles. Pringles now advanced into popcorn. Oh, goodness me. We've got to stop this.
So, so we were out walking. We went early in the morning to hopefully get food. And but there were quite a few people around, but everyone was smiling, saying hello.
Right.
And it was just like, these were strangers. And it didn't feel like London. It felt like Britain, wartime.
Yes.
We're just rallying together. And so now all of a sudden people are talking to each other. Of course, this is probably the time you shouldn't be talking. Keep those droplets to yourself. But it was just amazing, the difference and the change. It was just like, it kind of brought everyone together. We're all in this together.
I know. Now, you and Hugh, your partner, you told me that you'd gone out this lovely walk and everybody's smiling. And so, of course, I went out with that in mind. That everybody was going to be smiling and happy and open. And I have never received more dirty looks in my life. I think I was smiling at the wrong people. I don't know what went wrong. But I went out there, my big smile, all ready, and people just kind of looking at me and kind of crossing over. So maybe at the time I was having a flush, and so therefore maybe I looked a bit sweaty. So maybe they thought,
did they hear you coughing? Because your cough is loud. I know you've not got coronavirus because you're always coughing, but your cough is quite loud.
I've got a very loud, dry cough that you can listen back to every episode of Jabber Talk on Colourful Radio, and you will hear I'll suddenly go into a coughing fit. But I've had that since I was a child.
Yeah,
I've always just had a really dry throat that I'll just suddenly start.
You've always got your mouth open.
I've always got my mouth. Always got my mouth open. And then, of course, so now, it feels like the world is on lockdown. Everyone you speak to in any country in the world is on some form of lockdown, some form of either self-isolating or imposed quarantine.
Yeah.
And, of course, all the movies in all the world keep coming into my mind. Quarantine. 28 days later, another 28 days later, every zombie thing you could think of. I just don't know, because they're saying, like one professor said the other day, for the first time he actually used the word, we still don't know what this is going to mutate into.
Oh my God.
And so because they still don't know enough about the disease, and so that's why they're saying it's important to try not to get it. Even if you're young and you're healthy and you don't fit into the danger zone bracket, they're still saying, but don't get it, because we're still trying to understand exactly what it is. So, I mean, the good news on that is there are some people in China who have already had it, survived it, and now have got it again.
Oh, really?
Yes. But now they haven't got any of the symptoms. So they've been retested. They had been tested, it's gone. they've been retested and now they're positive again, but they're not showing any of the symptoms. So it is showing early signs, just like SARS, just like flu, that once you've had it in your system, then you become immune to it. Then your system has then built up what it needs to then become immune to it.
So once then they've tested that and know that for sure, does that mean that then they'll get people out there quicker to actually catch it? Oh no, that's when the vaccine will come in, because the vaccine actually puts it in your system.
Exactly. In a controlled dosage, so that then it will then you are now immune to it. So I mean, we're going through on unprecedented waters. I mean, it's not even, you can't even say it's just like World War because, but it's not. This is something that we can't see. This is something that is coming from where?
Germans. They couldn't see the bombs until they were down. Do you get what I mean? So it's still very similar still.
It's very similar. The fears are very similar, but what I mean by that is, so that you never contradict me again. What I mean by that is the fact that wars are man-made. So yes, we know. Yeah, the general public don't know where it's going to hit, but someone knows exactly where it's going to hit and when it's going to hit.
True.
So wars are man-made. Someone is in control of this. The reason why this is different is because no one's in control. I mean, like just today we hear that Prince Charles has now been tested positive and he's showing some of the symptoms. And the man is in his 70s. Yeah. So he is, high risk potential of this being actually devastating, not just to him and his family, but also to the nation. Yeah. It will change the face of everything with the monarchy. Prince William will then become Prince Regent. So that's what I mean by this. It's almost like the silent killer. Yeah. So what are the good things? I mean, like we know the negatives. Yeah. We know that it's scary. We know that it means that it has literally changed our way of life. We know that a lot of people are losing jobs and therefore their livelihoods. Yeah. Self-employed like me, you're in university, you're still trying to understand which way the university is going to be going. Yeah. People who are trying to decide whether to go to university are now deciding, well, do I sign up or not? Is there going to be a university there or not at the end of this? Because can they afford it? Because think about it, April is when the government are meant to start paying people's tuition. Right. Why will they? Or will they?
Because the classes are still going on. They're just going on online.
Yeah, but not clear. Not clear enough. Okay, put it this way. If I was going to university and felt that I was at risk of not getting the full impact of the learning that I need in order to guarantee my pass, I'd probably defer.
Oh, right, okay. I don't know. Would I defer? I don't think I would. I think from my experience with the film, with all my lessons, even with the presentation.
You're at Roehampton.
Yeah. Even with the presentation, we did it by Zoom, and it's working. For me, it's working, and it's all it's doing is taking out the trek across London. Right. So, which is fine for me, and having to mix with, young people.
Stop that. Stop that.
You know.
I don't know.
Crotchety. So no, for me it just means it gives me more time to actually work on my projects because I don't have to do that just over an hour journey there.
Right. So so the universities are going to be I think it's going to be split. Right. Even if it's a 60% who are just saying, I'm just going to carry on. Yeah. And 40% who are going to say, no, this is not, because if they were already teetering on deciding whether or not to continue. Yeah. So I can imagine a lot of universities are going to be losing millions of income at this point. And then therefore, how do they pay for their professors and their staff to continue? Right. And how many additional staff are now going to be laid off? Teacher assistants. Yeah. Well, teacher assistants are needed in the classroom. And if they're not going to be in the classroom in schools and the schools are closing, so therefore what's going to happen to their livelihood?
And the people on contracts, and which is what all the professors and stuff the university people have been striking about because so many of their people are on contracts.
There you go.
And not even like fully employed. So they're easy to let go, which is why they put them on contracts. Which
Exactly.
Is terrible.
0-hour contracts. And so then, of course, it just goes on and on. Every single person in this nation is affected. Every single person.
Everyone. And the pubs are closed.
The pubs, that alone. That alone is like when I'd first gone shopping, there was no eggs, no bread, no milk. This time I went, loads of eggs, loads of bread. I thought, what's going on? Everyone stopped panic buying. This is awesome. Went round to buy a bit of wine. Shelves are empty because the pubs have all just been closed. Shelves literally
changed.
Right? And I got 2 bottles of wine and a bottle of sherry, and I wasn't allowed the bottle of sherry. Because I said, no, sorry, sherry is wine.
45 wine, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it is, but so what? It's sherry.
It's got a different name. I thought I should be able to get different brands.
Exactly. So, yeah. So they're all the negatives. We know the negatives. We're living with the negatives. We're talking about the negatives.
Positives.
But what are the positives that could possibly come out of this?
Pollution. They've even saying that.
Maybe say that word again so that people who didn't see your face.
Gosh, everyone knows a pixie is in the pod. Right.
So yeah, the pollution.
We've already seen improvement, changes. The pollution levels are just dropping all over the world already.
Isn't that
amazing?
amazing?
Just for this few months.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go, climate change, and we're marching. Well, people are marching. I'm not marching. I'm a black woman. I can't march. I'll be in prison. Bullet in my head. You must be joking. But yeah, no, there's climate change. Massive issue. Was destroying the country. Look how many billions of animals that we just lost during the Australian fires that were a direct result of climate change that people just weren't taken seriously, except for, of course, the people who were affected in Australia. And it's like, well, now it's almost like nature has said, okay, you can't get the job done, I can.
Yeah.
And
do you think this is nature's way of saying, okay, you're overpopulated, you can't get the job done, I'm going to do it as well?
Okay, I mean, we can edit this part out that you're trying to just repeat what I'm saying now.
No, I'm saying
we don't have time for this. We're in a pandemic.
Actually reducing the populations around the world.
Yes. Also,
because we are overpopulated. I mean, it's kind of an indication maybe climate change is because we're so overpopulated.
Okay, 2 things on that. It's funny when we say we're overpopulated, and yet if the land was divided equally, I don't think we would be overpopulated.
Well, you're very good at your think. When you throw out your figures. Oh, it should be 60-40%.
Well, one family can own hundreds and hundreds of acres of land that they do absolutely nothing with except to be able to just turn around and say, well, that's my land.
Yeah.
That kind of thing needs to stop. Thank you. That kind of thing needs to stop. We need to start sharing the land, sharing the resource equally amongst us all.
Right.
This day of having someone with billions piling up billions. I mean, we've seen it. Everyone's getting so angry at the stockpilers for their toilet paper, and yet not one person gets angry at the person who stockpiles money.
Right.
Stockpiling money to have more. We don't need billions upon billions, and yet no one looks at them and says, well, why are you stockpiling money?
There are people like you. You're not the only one of your kind.
Okay. You're right. Thank you for those of you who are like me pointing the finger. But do you see what I'm saying? It's like we're quick to arrest the poor man because he's stockpiling toilet paper, but we don't even consider arresting the man who's stockpiling money when there are millions of starving in their own country.
I know.
So this is all nonsense.
Right, let's get back to the positive then.
Well, so the positive is to me, the number one positive, I see this as a massive reset. I don't see it as nature saying we're too overpopulated, because I really don't think we are. I think we're imbalanced. And I think this is nature's way of saying we must get the balance right. Let's change our ways, change our approach to life. And this is a massive opportunity for us all, collectively, globally, to do a reset. And I think it would only work by this becoming a global pandemic, by it hitting every single country. I mean, Donald Trump is there, President Trump is there. He's finally locked down in most of the states. But the point is, he's now already saying, no, I'm going to release trillions of money into the US economy. He is only thinking about the US economy. He's only concerned with the money. And it's like, wait, you haven't even stopped the death toll going up yet, but you're already talking about how to get America moving in money again so you can spend it on more arms.
Right.
This is what I mean. And so to me, it's a massive, wonderful, beautiful, God-given, nature-given, universe-given opportunity for a reset.
I agree. I think that's very true. I think another positive is what you were saying the other day, that article, we're not sure if it's fake news or not, but where the Americans have been panic buying guns.
That's not fake news.
Well, then the Americans panic buying fake
buying guns.
Fake guns, buying guns. And so people with coronavirus were turned into zombies. So
No, wait. That part of it,
that
wasn't what was said.
Yeah, well, no, that was it.
Okay, I still want you to say, it's not fake news, that's why they're buying it. No, of course, it is the American culture to have guns, and they are anticipating that as the food runs out, people are going to start stealing, borrowing without asking, that kind of thing is going to start going on, which is already going on here. Right. It's already going on in the UK. People are now stealing. Armed thieves broke in to steal toilet paper.
Wow. When did you read that?
This morning.
Oh, okay. You need to be careful what you're reading. You need to be re-looking. Anyway, that's a good thing because it made me giggle.
What made you giggle?
About the guns, the Americans and the panic buying guns.
Yeah, that did make me giggle because at the time we were only still talking about panic buying, toilet paper. And then the next article was in America, on the other side of the pond, they are panic buying their guns. So, Well, be careful when you wipe. That's all I say. Another brilliant thing I think that we've got going on, of course, is the homeschooling. Now, I know that the parents are probably going into panic mode. Oh my God, now I've got to teach my kid math and I don't even know maths myself. Are you kidding me? But here it is. Suddenly, you've got the attention of that child. That child has got your attention. So this is a beautiful opportunity to make sure they're actually advanced. There are so many books out there to make sure, because homeschooling has been going on for centuries. Yeah. And so there are so many books out there that you can buy that will actually take you through the curriculum, or even talk to your school and say, right, tell me exactly what they should know by the time June, by the time the summer holidays are going to hit. I will make sure that they are up to speed. But because it's just your children, say you've got 3, say you've got 2, however many you've got, it doesn't matter. The point is, they have got your undivided attention. So now suddenly, instead of learning at a pace of 30, they're learning at their own individual pace. Yeah. And so what they're going to find is their kids are going to be way more attentive, way more focused, and be able to actually advance from where they are. I mean, we've gone through it. We went through it with Izzy, Pixie's daughter in Greece. We lived in Greece. They taught in Greek. She landed not speaking a word of Greek. And so, of course, she had to not only learn how to speak Greek, how to write Greek, which is a completely different alphabet, but then she also then had to keep up with English, maths, and the rest of it. And so we had to support all of that in Saturday homeschooling classes.
But yes, and it was good because then she got from of course, being at the bottom of the class to being above average.
Exactly.
With us working with her.
Yeah, in Greece she was top of the class. In Greece.
Yeah.
Where she didn't know. Which is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, one of the top of the class, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She wasn't, she just wasn't
in the upper quartile.
She was upper quartile, which you would have thought that because she didn't even speak the language properly, really she should have been at the bottom.
Yeah.
But she wasn't, because we did the extra work of the homeschooling. Yes.
But what I did find it difficult about the homeschooling was because, or any time I'm trying to teach Izzy anything, is because I'm so emotionally attached. Right. I can teach other people's children things a lot quicker than I can teach Izzy, because
Than your
I'm
own
a lot
child.
more because I'm a lot more patient with other people's children, and they expect them to
that's
just get
really
there. But with
interesting.
Izzy, I want her to get it, and I'm going to get it quick
Oh,
because
okay.
it's my daughter, and I want her to do well.
Okay, so that's really good though to know that. So then parents then can relieve themselves of that. They're not under any pressure. They are, your son, your daughter, they are going to learn at their pace.
Yeah.
You just have to make sure that they understand the process. And remember, you're not trying to teach them 1 + 1 = 2. You're trying to teach them the process of additions, of multiplications, of fractions.
The rules.
That you're just trying to teach them the rules. So it's not like they've got it's a great bonding experience. I think we're going to see a lot of young kids who are going to actually go back to school once they all open again, way more advanced, if the parents can just lock in and put together a dedicated schedule.
Right.
Where for 45 minutes, I mean, each class shouldn't be more than 45 minutes. 45 minutes maths, 45 minutes English, 45 minutes something else, and then so
with
forth.
With your breaks.
Exactly.
Attention span. We must remember that the attention span is for every age, every year that they have is 1 minute. So if they're 7, their attention span is 7 minutes. If they're 20, once you get it to 15, everyone's attention span is 15 minutes. So you should change your process or change what you do in every 15 minutes so you're staying focused.
Keep them focused. Brilliant. So I think some really great, good things. And of course, this whole thing of working from home alone, I mean, I think that will help. So with the isolation thing, get on Skype, get on WhatsApp, talk to your friends, talk to people. Don't think, okay, I'm home now, got no one to talk to, no one to go and have coffee with or a beer with. So now, oh no, look, I'm locked in alone. Let me just put the box on. Let me just watch things. Keep talking. Keep talking. There are so many ways to talk to people online now.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do me cough. See what I mean? All my life.
That was
all my life.
Disinfectant spray. Someone sprayed themselves while we were still allowed out, and I was sitting next to her and she sat down. I think she must have touched under her seat because it was the fold down seats on the tube.
Yeah.
And then she and on her hands, and then she got out her thing and just sprayed, but something went over me and over my phone. I thought, did you just spray something? And then this man on the opposite side started going into one about why we shouldn't be using sanitizer and this is what it's done. And
here we go. Yeah, you see, there's always going to be the naysayers. There's always going to be the people who are not going to go by the rules. Right. But we can't. They are not the majority, and we can't even focus on them.
So one bit before we close, one bit of
how dare you
mental health advice. What would you give to someone?
I would say, when you self-isolate physically, it doesn't mean you self-isolate intellectually or emotionally or socially, in the sense of get online, talk to people, pick up your phone, speak to people. If you know people who are elderly, like our mum lives alone, we're making sure that we're calling her. I go and see her once a week because I have to make sure she gets her meds brought to her. So, and also, remember that everyone's in a very tricky situation. So overlook some people if they talk to you harshly. Try not to respond. Don't get
look at
by
me when you say that.
No comment. Don't get triggered by every single thing. Don't take all of this so serious. If the supermarket staff tell you can't have the 3 bottles of wine, then put them back. Don't give them a hard time. They're already having a hard time. And she told me yesterday I couldn't have the sherry. I said, okay, that's no problem at all. And she could not believe that I didn't put up a fight. She goes, oh my God, thank you. And you could see the relief on her face that she didn't have another fight on her hands. So come on, let's understand that we're all in this together.
And especially remember the poor supermarket staff, because they have to keep going.
They have to keep working. And they're still on their pennies an hour.
Exposed to so much.
Thank you.
But without the masks that the NHS staff get.
There you go. You see, this is what I mean. There are people who are having to risk their lives, and there are other people who are getting to stay home and work in the safety of their homes, and those people are still getting millions salaries, and those the people who are out there risking their lives are still struggling to pay rent. That's what I mean. It's imbalance.
Right.
But yeah, for your mental health being, see the positives. Even though we've talked about the negatives, but see the positives. See and make sure you talk to people and laugh. Keep laughing. Keep talking. Stay happy. Lockdown doesn't mean depression. It doesn't have to mean depression. Lockdown can be a fantastic opportunity to reconnect with yourself, with art, with music, with culture, get that book written, write some poetry, do some art, just think, watch your favourite programmes from morning till night. Enjoy the process.
Right.
What would you say?
I'd say all of that. I think that's very good advice. And so now I'm going to say, can you just start speaking quieter, and just start making your voice go quiet, so it seems like we're fading out to the end of the podcast.
That was a wonderful way.
We forgot the song.
We put the world to right. We put the world to right. We put the world to right. We put the world to right.